Moved out to the Japanese countryside maybe 2.5 months ago. I have a little bit of a special apartment, and despite promising to do so, I have yet to show it off along with its many features and question marks. Like this disproportionately sized entranceway, or genkan as it's known in Japanese. Don't get me wrong, grateful for the giant genkan. It's comparable to the size of some rooms in some Japanese apartment. By the way, this apartment has 4 rooms. We'll go over that later. The genkan really has nothing. It's got a shoe closet where I own 2 pairs of shoes, one for daily use and one for running. And then the very, very aptly named toilet is right beside it. And it is about the most standard Japanese toilet or washroom you will find. It has a seat warmer and washlet there, and then up on top is a little sink to wash your hands. And that's the washroom. Toilet. Now there's this one low spot here in the entranceway, and the doorways are somewhat low, but for the most part, this place actually has pretty high ceilings. Like I'd actually have to jump in order to touch the ceilings, which by Japan standards aren't bad. Not all places have low ceilings. There are plenty of places in Japan that do have higher ceilings, and this yeah, that's a story for next week, maybe the week after. It involved me nearly falling down a mountain before finally coming across a bear here in Japan. That was. Now we will tour all the rooms and the bedrooms and whatnot later on, but this actually reminded me, this place is fairly high security. And this panel is kind of the main station for that. I can set an emergency, I can stop and start the alarm and everything. There's at least 2 layers of security people need to be able to get through in order to get here. There's the front door auto lock, which I need to buzz people in. And then my unit, my apartment itself is actually gated. So they also need to be able to get through a gate in order to get in here. And there's a security camera that I can see here and monitor people. And considering that I'm in the countryside of Japan and not right in the middle of Tokyo, it kind of feels slightly like overkill. So the kitchen here is fun. It has a bunch of interesting features, but you know what? Let's check out the bath area first and get that out of the way. Very standard Japan, and that door always closes itself. I didn't do that. Ghost door. Scared the living heck out of me on my first day here. All you need to do is kind of bump into it and it'll close. And I had gotten all the way to my room and heard the door slam, and this place was empty. You'll notice that I have nothing but the bare minimum: toothbrush, a bit of toothpaste, some wax, hairspray, a comb, a towel, there's a hair dryer, and then this is the actual bath space itself. Huge fan of this light here, the square, the cube, maybe because it kind of looks like a question mark block from Mario, and the bath here is a fairly standard sized Japanese bath. It's just about big enough for me to sit down and have a knees up kind of bath. Overall, I would say it's a moderately standard Japanese bathroom, and just as I went to record this video today, this light here went out. I turned out all the lights just to record this video. That's a special thing because I'm super cheap and usually have all the lights off. That one went, so I gotta replace it. If you don't believe how cheap I am, after 2.5 months of living here, this refrigerator is still not plugged in and is completely and entirely empty. There's just nothing. I need to get some baking soda in that fridge. I love cooking. I cooked yesterday, but I don't cook often here. And I know one of the default comments in YouTube is gonna be, well, doesn't that end up actually costing you more? And not in Japan, it doesn't. My local restaurant that I go to for lunch, I fast. I do intermittent fasting, so typically I'm only eating 2 meals a day, a late lunch and then a late dinner. My late lunch costs me about 300 yen at my local restaurant. That's less than $3, especially with the exchange rate right now. And amazingly, for dinner, I'll go even cheaper. I'll swing by the local supermarket that has pre-made bentos with rice and meat and everything like that are Already, because it's in the countryside, super cheap, maybe like 400 to 500 yen. And at night, they are discounted 40 to 70% off. So I'll walk out of there with a bento for maybe 150, 200 yen, pop it in the microwave, or do what I did yesterday and grab some additional meat on discount, because everything goes on discount after like 7 p.m. Gets really cheap. And there we go. I'm spending maybe 400 to 600 yen on an entire day's food. All that aside, super quick tour of the kitchen itself. Sink is really nicely sized. Only have gas burners over here. By default, I keep the gas off for safety, because in an earthquake, that is the first thing that you're gonna be turning off. Plenty of storage. Got a rice cooker, microwave, got a toaster oven that I haven't used, and a water heater, kettle. The word is kettle. And then I've got a whole bunch of dishes and plates and cups. And then over here, there's balcony access for a balcony that goes all the way around there. And I have my washing machine, no dryer. That is what the drying rack is for. This can handle up to 5 kilograms of my laundry. And then there's a sink here for hand washing in case I need to hand wash any of my laundry. And then the living room itself. Got a TV over here, which of course is not plugged in. I haven't even used it since moving in. I didn't buy this TV, by the way, and we'll talk about that in a second, as well as checking out all the bedrooms, talking about costs and everything, and covering one of the most interesting and unique things about this particular apartment right after I open up this. I have been waiting forever to open this up. I've been away for a while. This is a gift from Asus. It is the StevenHarrington edition of the Asus VivoBook 13 Slate OLED, bro. And it comes with a pen. Like, I'm not usually all that excited about the packaging of a product, but this is actually packaged quite nicely. There's so many pockets and hidden things in here. So it seems like this is the main device right here. It has been sitting here for a really long time. I was back in Tokyo for a while to take a radio test, which I aced, by the way. I now have a radio license. And so any residual charge that this might have had is probably gone. Asus and I did a project together a few months back. I believe this is the keyboard. And when they heard that I was out starting a new journey and a new life, they offered to send me this gift box. So Asus, thank you very much for that. The keyboard should just snap right on. There we go. And ooh, that's really nice. And I believe this part here serves as a bit of a back stand. Flip that over. The battery on this thing is pretty phenomenal, and even the pen is really neat. It's got this hidden little USB-C inside of here that allows you to quick charge it in 30 minutes, and it gives you like 140 hours of use. I already think I can be using this for a lot of image editing. Like, look at this, I can just boom. All of a sudden it goes from PC to tablet. It's got a beautiful OLED nano edge display with slim bezels, true to life colors. You know, on top of image editing, I think I would really enjoy watching movies on this as well. I'm already having way too much fun with this. It will be linked down below. Thank you so much to Asus for supporting this channel and for sending this out to me. Let's get into checking out some of the rooms in this place, and I'm gonna get this set up in my bedroom. So before I show my room and reveal the intricacies of my student lifestyle here, I want to show the room that I was originally gonna take as my room, which is the tatami room. This is it right here. It's connected right to the living room space. It's got the traditional washi paper doors, and this opens out to a set of pigeons that were born like a month ago. Apparently pigeons grow into full-size pigeons within a month. You'll notice that there is a bed, you'll notice there is a study table, and then there is an oshi-ire style closet. I love these closets. They are giant. You could totally go in here and make your own fort. Look how much space there is inside of here. You could have your own little, like, I can't quite sit up, but I'm pretty close to being able to sit up. Probably wouldn't do that on the second level. wouldn't want to break through, but you know, these are traditionally used for storing bedding and futons and everything like that. And there's even more storage space up here. It goes. Also, thank you, camera. I did not realize that was in there. But honestly, I'm guessing the average Japanese person would need to get some kind of stool in order to access that, because otherwise, you're not getting in there. But I ended up not choosing this room for two reasons. Number one is the room that I'm in now has the best access to radio signal, and I check the radio every single morning for weather forecasts and whatnot. And number two is that I may eventually end up with roommates. This is the second room next to mine. And again, you'll notice a bed, currently no mattress, a bookshelf, and the closets here are fairly big as well. Like, there's plenty of closet space in here. And that was the sound of me tripping up against the bed. And then there is another room over here. Again, similar stuff. And again, very, very big closets. Like huge closets, actually. This was actually gonna be my second choice, but my bedroom actually has 2 windows and has better radio signal. And when I say radio, here, I mean like this type of radio. In order to get any signal, I still need to go out onto this balcony over here. I got 2 balconies, but I use this to check things like ATIS and the airport information. And I'm just realizing now that if you've missed any of the recent content, or if you just stumbled upon this video, I'm in flight school. And this place here is where I'm staying for that. So let's take a peek at my room, and then we'll talk about what is special about this place, which you may have already figured out, and costs involved, etc. And this is my room here. It's been kind of noisy today, so I've kept the curtains closed. I have a nice little semi-double bed. I have my desk and study space here, and this is for my chair flying. I will sit down and run through procedures. This shelf was in here when I got in here, and whoever built this shelf was in a very creative mood. They decided to face one of them this way and one of them this way. I managed to pick up this headset here on Yahoo auction for something like $90, but that is most certainly not a $90 headset, so I feel like it was a very, very lucky find. I keep a bit of exercise equipment down here, and then all of my other stuff like my flight bag and study gear and whatnot is kept down there, and then all my clothes are kept here. And yes, I literally do just wear the same stuff every single day. A total of 7 t-shirts if you include the one that I'm wearing. One for every day of the week, as well as some matching sweaters, a couple pairs of these pants, just one less thing to worry about, one less thing to think about, one less decision to make. And look how big this closet is. There's just so much space. I don't have enough stuff to... I do have an air conditioner that I never touch and use. That's another reason why I wanted the corner unit with 2 windows open so that I can get a breeze going through in the summer. I'm pinching every single penny that I can, and that's actually one of the reasons that I'm staying here, because when it comes down to the cost for this place, this is actually somewhat included in my flight school. This entire building is just a normal apartment building, but several of the units within have been rented out for students of the flight school to use, which is why each one of these rooms has beds and desks and everything in it, why it's set up, and why I'm not super duper careful about hiding my location, because I may not even be here very long. I might be here for the next couple weeks, maybe a month, but I've also been looking at other places around Kagoshima and Kirishima. Maybe get like a tiny little place, because honestly, I don't need this much space. But I did promise you guys that I was gonna give a full tour of this place, so I wanted to bring this to you. For anybody interested, I will link some apartment tours, some of the most unique and interesting I have seen in Japan, as well as the day in the life of a student pilot here in Japan. Thank you so much to ASUS for supporting this video, to Patreon for supporting this channel, and to you guys for watching. And I guess I'll see you again next week.